Hey guys, how you guys doing today? Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm a little shaken up. The show must go on. I'm a little late today. I was unfortunately involved in a bit of a fender bender, car accident, and dealing with the insurance and police and all that stuff. But I'm okay. Everyone seems to be okay. And now the show must go on. So, topic of today is going to be about the meridians and how acupuncture works. I get this question a lot of times. How do we know where to put the needles? Why do we put them in certain orders? Why do we move them in certain ways? So I'm going to elaborate on that just a little bit for you. So acupuncture is the insertion of sterile needles, fine needles, into different acupuncture points of the body to elicit a different response. And being the fact that everything in the universe works by cause and effect, that certain causes dictate certain effects, and that if you do the same reproducible activities as somebody else that was successful, you too shall be successful. And we use this theory and philosophy in the body as well, that once we find a system of causality, that the interrelationship between that causality and effect are predetermined to repeat that effect, we will use it to manipulate the system as appropriately as needed. So some examples of this cause and effect kind of thing, very simplistic, but you'll be able to understand is I poke you in the eye, you start to cry, right? Some more other ones that we may be very familiar with but not think about is you hit your elbow, your hand turns onto fire, pins and needles, right, from hitting the funny bone. Other things that might come in is if you step on a tack, you step on a thumbtail, something like that, a thumbtack, your mouth vocalizes that pain. Ah! Starts to come out. So your mouth and your foot are not related, but in the system of your body, the body composed of different cells that make up tissues, tissues that make up organs, organs that make up systems, and the systems interacting together to form an organism, that the systems of different tissues respond and react to each other accordingly. So I like to use the analogy of a supermarket, being that the supermarket is one contained entity of different organized lines of activity, just like our body is. We have very much organized lines of activity, and most people are familiar with the acupuncture model of the doll with all the dots and lines that go down their body. But you can't really see these lines, they're not visible to the naked eye. However, we have plenty of these systems, right? We can track the neurological system, we can track the blood vessel system, we can track many, many other different kinds of systems. Hold on a second, my battery monitor just came up. We can track many different systems within the body. And because of that, let me just move this around, sorry. Hope you guys can still see me here. Alright. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we can track these different systems in the body, right? We know where the oxygen comes in the nose or in the mouth down to the lungs. We can see where the blood vessels circulate things to. We can tell when we push or pull on certain muscles that the tissues in the hands and the fingers move in certain directions, and that bones are all connected to each other. So there are definitely visible lines of relationship between tissues and organs of the body. And we also have the invisible one, or the one that we can't see to the naked eye, of the meridian system. And with the meridian system, what we found is very much like a supermarket, that there are different columns of relationships. You walk into the supermarket, it could be any supermarket, but there's the deli section, there's the baked goods section, here's the produce section, there's frozen foods, there's cleaning products. They may not always be in the same order, in the same positions, but you can pretty much get the feel of when you walk up and down, you go into the deli section, you're going to find deli stuff, and you walk in produce, you're going to find produce section. And the body has the same organs, same meridians just like that, but ours are related to different organs, which of course have different functions. So we have organs that are like the cleaning product system, like the urinary bladder or the large intestine. We also have ones that are for digestion, like the stomach, right? So you can think about those being the baked goods aisle. Each organ system has its own little aisle that zigzags all over the body, and their lines are reproducible, predictable influences. So with that, you walk into the produce section, and produce sections are all typically arranged in pretty much the same way. It might have some individual differences depending on what store you're going to, but the produce section typically has apples, and then citrus fruits, and then core fruits and vegetables. And you go into the apple section, and there's subsections. You have red apple, yellow apple, green apple. And then you walk into for citruses, and you have lemons, limes, oranges, perhaps, and then pears: green pear, brown pear, red pear. So these patterns are noticeable, and we can tell that there's local patterns, and then there's systemic patterns of the actual aisle itself. So let's say you were going to go and pick up some ingredients in these aisles. We pick up some maybe eggs, and how about some bread? and maybe a little butter also, okay? And now we take those 3 ingredients home. So we go up and down each one of those aisles and we select our ingredients, just like we walk up and down the aisles of Meridians of the body and we select points that have specific uses. An apple can't really be used to clean your toilet. It has uses that you can do. You might be able to extrapolate different ideas from it, but there's certain things it can and can't do, right? So we take these ingredients and we make our point selection. From that point selection, we have to come up with the order of how we're going to arrange these ingredients. What order are we going to use them? Is it going to be butter, eggs, bread, or bread, eggs, butter, or mixed mashed all together? How are we going to prepare those points? So first order of operation, then how are we going to prepare? How are we going to manipulate the needle or those points to send specific information to the system to alter how that system's functioning? And this would be analogous to cooking as if you were making those eggs. We could put the butter in the pan, fry up some eggs, take those eggs and put them on the toast, and now you have an egg sandwich. However, I could also take those eggs, scramble those eggs, dunk the bread into it, and then make French toast, right? Same ingredients, arranged completely differently, organized in a different order. The steps in what you did changed, as well as the manipulations of those ingredients also changed. So that's a little bit about how acupuncture works. And as an acupuncturist, we sit down and we look at the cause of the person coming in, what their complaints are, and how all their systems are interacting. And through assessing all those systems, we then go and say, okay, well, from this point, what ingredients does this person need to reach this specific goal? So we select the points that we want. At that point, then we prep the areas and we insert needles into those points in a specific order, depending on what our actual intentions are. Do we want to go from feet to head, or from head to feet, or in specific pairings of points? But there's a causal relationship to all these things that we want to make sure that we're leveraging in the most important way. And then once we get the order correct, how are we actually manipulating those systems? Are we putting the needles in and giving the points a fast stimulation to speed things up? Or are we giving things a slow stimulation to slow things down? Or what system are we working on the body? Are we working just on the superficial skin layers? Or are we going down to the deeper levels of the body where we go through the skin, the myofascial connective tissue, to the blood vessels, down to the neurological, down to more muscle, and down deeper and deeper all the way down to the bone? So there's all these different layers that we can react on. So it depends on how deep the needles go and what we're manipulating within the system is how we're going to change those eggs and bread and butter and so forth. So it's a question I get a lot as an acupuncturist. And again, if you guys have any questions, please give us a call. You can reach out to us by phone, 631-629-LIFE. That's 5433. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook as well, where you're watching right now. Website is Acupuncture of Long Island. And of course, check out our YouTube channel. This isn't the only video we have. We've got many more up there and many more coming. Please view in. Check our films out on Monday. We do Monday's Point of Life Monday, Point of the Day Monday. We'll give you a couple fun facts or some brain teas to kind of get the brain juices going, possibly change your state of mind, hopefully influence you to have a more positive, beneficial mindset and state of being throughout the day to start your week. And on Fridays, we will soon be starting our Move, Think, and Feel Better Fridays, where I'm going to give you specific techniques to help your body can maintain better posture, better muscle tone and control, better health through dieting, nutrition, exercise, breathing, and mindfulness practices. So I hope that's there to help you guys. I am Ryder Champouillon. This is Point of Life Acupuncture. This was What to Do Wednesday. Be well. Live life fully.